The nighttime mists that shrouded Collinwood have lifted in the morning sun, but no light of sun or stars can disperse the sadness that pervades the land around. A man beloved by all the town has been buried, but the grief over his death did not follow him into the grave. And on this day of death, a mysterious melancholy seems to have been born in the heart of a young boy.
Are you all right now?
Yes, I'm all right.
I'm sorry I had to tell you, but I thought I ought to.
I understand.
I have to go now.
You mean you can't stay?
No, I don't think so.
Well, where are you going?
I don't know.
Will you come back?
Yes.
Oh, Sarah, please stay.
Why?
Well, I like to hear you play.
All right.
What's the matter?
I think I know how he died.
Who, Dr. Woodard?
Yes.
How?
I'm not sure, but it was terrible, terrible.
Well, what happened?
I don't know exactly, but it shouldn't have happened the way it did.
Did someone kill him?
I don't want to tell you.
Please tell me.
I can't. I can't.
Sarah, don't go. Oh, please, don't go. Sarah!
Did you sleep well last night?
I guess so.
Mrs. Johnson told me you didn't touch your breakfast.
Didn't I? I'm sorry.
Well, maybe you were still too sleepy to be hungry. Would you like something now?
No, thank you.
I'm sorry I didn't come in to see you earlier.
Well, that's okay.
But I had to go into Collinsport.
I understand.
We all went in it. It wasn't a very happy trip.
I know.
David, aren't you even going to look at me?
I'm sorry.
Are you sure you're feeling all right?
Yes, I'm fine.
I have something to tell you.
I know.
What do you mean you know?
I think I know what you're going to tell me.
Oh, I don't think you do. It's something very sad, and I don't want you to be too upset by it.
I won't be.
It happened a few days ago. Perhaps I should have told you at the time, but you weren't feeling very well.
He's dead, isn't he?
Who?
Dr. Woodard.
Yes, but who told you?
I just knew.
You must have heard us talking.
I guess so.
Oh, I'm sorry, David. I didn't want you to find out that way. I wanted to tell you myself.
That's all right.
We all went to the funeral this morning. Practically everyone in town was there. Lots of people were as fond of him as we were.
I know.
Why didn't you tell someone you knew?
What difference does it make?
Well, I'm sure it must have upset you a great deal.
I guess so.
David, I don't understand you.
What is there to understand?
This attitude of yours.
He's dead. Terrible things happen and no one seems to do anything about them.
David, death is something no one can do anything about.
I guess so.
If it's any consolation to you, he suffered little or no pain.
It was terrible. It shouldn't have happened.
But David, it was just like going to sleep very quietly.
It shouldn't have happened. It was terrible.
It's terribly sad, of course. He was such a fine man.
It shouldn't have happened.
David, why do you keep saying that?
I'm sorry.
Can't you tell me what you mean by it?
What difference does it make? Nobody believes anything I tell them anymore anyway. Doesn't matter. Nothing matters.
You mustn't say that.
I'm sorry.
David, we're going to have lunch in a little while. Why don't you come down?
I'll be all right up here.
David, you can't stay up here by yourself all the time like this.
I'm all right. I liked Dr. Woodard because he believed me. And maybe that's why he's dead.
I can't tell you what he's like. It's frightening.
Was he terribly upset?
No, that's just it. He seemed to have known about it.
But who could have told him?
I don't know. He probably heard us talking. What worries me is that he had almost no reaction.
Oh, I'm sure he has. He just hasn't found a way of showing it.
Then we must find a way to help him show it. He can't go on like this, keeping everything pent up inside.
Let me take his lunch in to him.
All right.
Maybe I can get through to him.
Be gentle with him. I'm so worried about him.
I'll see what I can do. Mrs. Stoddard, do you think that we should call Dr. Fisher in again?
Maybe. But I wish one of us, someone who loves him, could find a way to get through to him.
Maybe his knowing what had happened to Dr. Woodard its way is what's been bothering him.
I'm not so sure. He kept saying nothing mattered anymore. And he seems to think something terrible happened to Dr. Woodard. He almost didn't believe me when I told him he died peacefully.
What did he think had happened?
He had no explanation. Oh, Vicky. How can a child, a little boy, feel such a feeling
Of what?
despair? That's the only word for it. Despair.
Don't eat it if you don't feel like it. For once, I think I'll quit yelling at you, telling you what to do.
Well, that's okay. I don't mind.
You mean I can yell and you won't care?
I don't care.
You really mean that, don't you?
I've meant everything I've ever said, whether anyone's believed me or not.
It isn't easy for you, is it, David?
I'm all right.
No, you're not. Any more than I was.
What do you mean?
Don't forget, I grew up in this house, too. I was alone most of the time, too. I didn't have any friends either. Except the ones I imagined.
You're talking about Sarah, aren't you? You think I just imagined her, don't you?
Do you think you imagine her?
No.
Then neither do I.
Do you mean that?
I think so.
You don't have to pretend. I don't care.
When I was 9, my best and closest friend was a little boy named Randy. He had dark hair and brown eyes, and he always wore a red sweater, even in the summertime. We played practically every day, sometimes down on the beach. We would climb trees or look for sea glass. The last time I saw him was on my 10th birthday. He brought me a piece of sea glass that looked like clear green water. I never saw him after that. Even now, I'm not sure whether he really existed or whether I imagined him.
Or if he was a ghost.
Maybe he was. I've never known. And I'm sure I never will. But whatever he was real. A real boy, or a real figment of my imagination, or a ghost. Even now I find sometimes that I miss him. People can laugh at me and not believe me. But I don't care.
Sarah's real. I mean, she's a real ghost.
Do you want to know something, David?
Yes.
I do believe you.
Do you hear that?
Yes,
It's Sarah.
I know.
Something's going to happen. Soon, very soon.
What?
Nobody knows. Not yet. It'll happen very far away.
Where?
Nobody knows yet. But it will make us sad for a very, very long time.
How do you know?
I just know, that's all.
Do you hear it in the music?
I don't know. It will be an accident. No one will cause it, and no one can stop it.
What kind of an accident?
Nobody knows yet.
Who's it going to happen to?
I don't know. Nobody knows. But it's going to happen.
No.
Don't be afraid. Terrible things happen, and there's nothing we can do about them.
I don't believe that.
Yes, you do, because it's true. Listen to the music. Listen.
I don't think I want to anymore.
It's all right, you can go. I don't mind listening to the music by myself.
David, none of this is real. It can't be.
It is. There's nothing we can do about it. Nothing.
The last thing in the world I want to do is force you. No, that's not true. I'd force you if I thought I could make you do it.
I'm sure you can understand, Liz, that we'd much rather have a place of our own.
Well, of course I can. I'm being completely selfish.
Oh, no, that's not true. You're not thinking about yourself. You're thinking about David.
You forget I'm a Collins. So is David. And I'm afraid the area of my selfishness extends to the entire family.
Burke, if you could only see the way that David is.
How'd he take the news about Woodard?
He knew before I told him. I can't tell you how strange and frightening it was.
He had no reaction at all.
He accepted it all so easily. Carolyn tried to talk to him. All it did was upset her.
Well, maybe I can give the West Wing some thought while I'm away.
Thank you, Bert.
But all my instincts say no.
Not quite all. No matter what you say, you have a great instinct for kindness. And that just might take over.
Well, I hope not. But I will admit I'd like to do as much as I can to help David.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are you ready for our walk?
She's been ready for the past half hour. I'm afraid I'm the one that's held it up.
Not at all.
Well, Bert, if I don't see you before you go, have a good trip.
Thanks, Liz.
Goodbye, Burke.
David.
I was afraid I wouldn't see you.
Don't worry, I wouldn't go away without saying goodbye.
You're really my friend, aren't you, Burke?
Why, yes, I am.
I want to thank you for all the things you've ever done for me. I'm gonna miss you, Burke.
David, he's only going away for a few days.
Yes, I know, but I just wanted him to know how I felt.
I'll tell you what. While I'm away, I'll look for some interesting stamps for your collection. Would you like that?
Yes, and I could have them to remember you by.
David, what are you talking about?
Nothing.
What made you say a thing like that?
Well, he means to remember my trip by, don't you, David?
I'll never forget you, Burke. Never.
David, Burke is just going away on a business trip.
And he'll be back in a few days.
I wish there was something I could do.
Well, you could stop talking like this as though something terrible were going to happen.
I didn't mean it that way. I didn't want to scare anyone.
I'm not scared. I just wish you could be more optimistic about my coming back safe.
David, this is all nonsense. Now stop it.
Would you like me to take him upstairs?
No, I'm all right. I'm sorry if I made anyone unhappy. I didn't mean to. I just wanted to say goodbye to Burke. That's all.
David, do you want me to come up with you?
No, I want to be by myself.
You take care of yourself, David. And when I come back, maybe we can arrange a fishing trip. Would you like that?
I think that would be wonderful, don't you, David?
Just the two of us. We'll take the boat out a couple of miles, and we won't come back until the hold is full of fish.
Won't come back?
You'd like to go on a fishing trip, wouldn't you, David?
Yes,
It's all set then?
it's all set. Nothing can change it. Nothing. Goodbye, Burke.
Starting to get dark.
Are you getting cold?
A little. And the fog is starting to roll in from the sea.
Vicky,
Yes,
I was thinking.
I know. You haven't said a word all evening.
Well, maybe that West Wing idea isn't so bad.
Do you really mean that?
When you told me how bad off David was, I didn't realize what you were talking about. I don't think you should leave him.
You know something, Burke?
What?
I love you. And I know that you'd much rather live somewhere else.
Why didn't you tell me he was acting like this?
Because he wasn't.
I don't understand.
Tonight, he was the worst off I've ever seen him.
I wonder what all that was about.
I'd rather not think about it.
He took Woodard's death pretty bad, didn't he?
Yes, that must be it.
Hey, now, wait a minute. You're not beginning to believe all that stuff, are you?
Burke, do you have to go away?
Oh, now, Vicky, you know that what he was talking about had nothing to do with me. You know that.
Please, let's go inside.
Well, let's stay out here for a little while. I want to watch the fog come in.
No, please, let's go inside.
Vicky, what's the matter with you? Every little thing is scaring you.
Oh, I'm not scared. I'm just cold.
Please don't be afraid, Vicky.
I'm not afraid.
I'm going away, but I'm coming back.
I know you are.
And I don't want you to worry. Not for a minute.
I'm not worried. Honestly, I'm not, but I just like to go inside.
Well, of course. Come on.
What was that?
What?
Didn't you hear it?
A gull, maybe?
No. It sounded more like,
Like what?
you know, the legend of the widows who died near Collinwood on Widow's Hill. They say that their wailing can be heard in the night.
Oh, come on, Vicky. Cut it out, will you?
There it is again.
It's only the wind.
Yes. The wind. It's got to be the wind. Please, let's go inside.